Right after I made my TINAG video, the ARG video, Chuck Schumer went on and he was all upset about Tucker Carlson releasing the J6 footage. And I'm hoping the first thing you thought of when you saw him huffing and puffing was, TINAG! He's acting in character! Look at him, TINAG! This is not a game!
Last night, millions of Americans tuned in to one of the most shameful hours we have ever seen on cable television.
And if you were playing TINAG bingo at home, I hope you crossed off browbeating immediately after his first sentence. Look at him do what he does best. Browbeat. Oh, the browbeating. And looking down his nose at you. Oh, Schumer does it so good to look down on you.
Arguing the January 6th Capitol attack was not a violent insurrection. I don't think I've ever seen a primetime cable news anchor manipulate his viewers the way Mr. Carlson did last night.
Schumer hit him with a combo there. He had some gaslighting with fake moral indignation all in one shot.
I don't think I've ever seen an anchor treat the American people and American democracy with such disdain.
And right there, we had quite the literal expression of political posturing. And I openly admit that I'm engaging in the tactic of laughing at tyrants. Now, speaking of TINAG, the other day I was enjoying going through memory lane, looking through the cue cards from 2018, just to remember everything that happened. It's good to look back on these cards because when you look back on them with the new stuff that you learn, these cards take on a whole new meaning. And in this case, I found something extremely alarming. And if I kept it to myself, I'd be doing everybody a disservice. But wait until you see this, knowing what we know now about TINAG. So I'm looking at these cards, having a great old time chuckling, so thrilled that somebody made these. And then I came across this card. And what do you know? It says, this is not a game, TINAG. At what stage in the game do you play the trump card? How many times have we heard that? And then here, this is not a game. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, at the same time, though, perhaps these cards were made as a backup plan to just say, no, hey, the whole thing, it was just a LARP. It was a big TINAG. Nothing to see here. Don't worry about it. Quote the 17th letter and say, all of this for a LARP? Meaning they went out of their way to stop this. All for a LARP? But we see it. We see some TINAG right here. What do we make of this? What do we make of this? TINAG. It's not a game. Check out Kristin Ruby's Twitter account. She's doing the best reporting on AI as far as big tech censorship goes. She actually understands aspects of natural language processing, machine learning, and other parts to it. So she's got a much better perspective than the average person just running their mouth. So check out Kristin Ruby. If you're still paying to watch cable, think about it. If you're paying them, there shouldn't be any commercials at all. I mean, that's how the internet model works. If you don't pay, if it's free, you see ads. But if you pay, it removes the ads. So then why are there commercials on cable television? They should be paying you to watch their ads. Not only that, they should be paying you to watch and program yourself with their propaganda and television programming. Somehow I think we're getting ripped off here. And my final thought for today is we need to discuss beforehand how we will all handle ourselves during the next big thing. Because if we don't decide how we want to behave and how we want to respond and what our contingency plans are, then we're going to look to them for it. And the last time they decided, it was real bad. Now, the hard part is they're going to wait another 18 to 20 years to pull off their next big thing. Their previous one was obviously in September of 2001, and their next big thing was the entire year of 2020. So it may not be until 2040, although we do know that Agenda 2030 is going to happen in the year 2030. So that gives us 7 years to discuss what we want to do between now and then, how we want to basically talk to your neighbors, talk to everybody you know. If all of us talk to all the people we know, explain to them what psychological operations are, explain to them the big lie, all the things that we know, and just say to them, say, look, you don't have to believe the previous things were fake, even though they were, but when the next one happens, could you please not fall for it the next time? And that way, if we get everybody on board, this kind of stuff won't happen, because the next time they do it, it's going to be pretty consequential. So they plan, they have contingencies for everything. We need to start having contingencies for everything. So start the dialogue, and everybody should just start talking amongst each other on, hey, do we want to get duped again? Do we want to all be fighting each other again? Do we want to go through all this thing again? Or do we want to figure out beforehand what we want to do, and even come up with what could possibly come next? I mean, we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot. But man, I'm telling you what, I'm definitely pushing for MAGA 2024, because I want to see how far the lunacy can go. So I'll leave you guys with that. Thanks for watching. May the force be with you, and I'll see you next time.